Hello and welcome to Benchmark Magazine. I'm Jenny Caloisi and I'm joined by Adam Stroud from Paxton, who's going to give us a bit of an introduction to Paxton, where the company is at today, and a little bit of a history of the company. Hello, Adam. How are you?
Hi, Jenny. Yes, I'm very good. Thank you.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how Paxton started and how did it evolve?
So the company was started in 1985, started by Anthony Brotherton-Ratcliffe, who still owns the company to this day, and has grown from, obviously a startup manufacturing company specializing in battery-operated keypads for access control into the company today, whereby we cover many sectors, including access control systems, video door entry systems, electronic door handle devices, video surveillance, and some smart building technology as well.
That's a fantastic growth. How much has the company grown in the past 5 or 10 years?
We tend to double in size every 4 years. And I've had couple of decades worth of involvement in the company, and you can imagine with that kind of growth, managing the scaling up of the company and making sure the culture and our aspirations aren't diluted by that scaling up has been a really exciting challenge.
How long have you been the CEO of the company for?
I've been CEO for around 12 years, something like that, yeah.
And how did you start it at Paxton?
Okay, so I started fresh out of university, looking for something to do. Similar to most people, I think at that kind of age, I didn't have a definite career path in mind. And through a university friend, contact, I got a job which I imagined would be temporary, helping to manufacture magnetic stripe readers, so card lock readers, on a production line. And that company, of course, was Paxton. Very different to how it is today. So I think there were around 25 people in the entire company. So at the beginning of a journey. I liked what I saw. I've always loved technology, always loved engineering. I probably wasn't very good at the manufacturing side, but I soon found myself learning all about the products and supporting the products on the phone, and then in person as well, if ever there were any issues or people needed help installing or advice on commissioning systems and that.
So you were a customer services person?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so technical help. And then because in a company of that size, everybody wears so many different hats. There's not the delineation of roles that you get in a larger organization. So that's a brilliant opportunity because you just get to dabble in everything and learn about everything.
Yes.
So I got to learn about the products, got to learn about what the industry, about the customers, about the challenges we were trying to resolve with technology. And that put me in good stead for what I do today.
Why don't you talk us a little bit about the culture of Paxton?
The company culture is such a vital part of the longevity of any company. Candidates and talented people have their choice of different companies to work at. And so we need to be extremely attractive. In terms of we want people to come and work for us, and when they join our team, we want them to give them everything to be able to do the work of their lives.
Has the company suffered as a result of the pandemic or as a result of Brexit?
Okay, so the pandemic first. In 2020, it was the first year in over 2 decades that we sold less than we did the year before. So the short answer, I suppose, is yes, we did. The immediate aftermath of the lockdown in the UK was traumatic, and I mean that in that we had to respond so urgently to a fundamental shift in demand, in how we support our customers, in how we manufacture, in how we look after and protect our staff. All of those sorts of things in a very small time window in which to make the right choices. And looking back, I'm proud of what we did. And I think by and large we will have made mistakes undoubtedly, but I'm proud of what we did, and by and large I think we made the right choices. But after that, we looked to see how helpful we could be in this situation, how our products could lend themselves to COVID secure environments, and we came up with quite a few initiatives to try and make ourselves to try and help be part of the solution. So some examples are we extended payment terms for installers, for example, so that we were conscious that in that period of time there was such uncertainty that cash was very, very important to smaller companies. So we thought that would be useful to try and incentivize and help installers manage their cash flow throughout the crisis. We tried to keep, on the surface at least, just very calm and consistent and unflappable in terms of our service level to customers, in terms of the supply of products. Our factory stayed open throughout, so there was never any big backlog of unsatisfied orders. And I do think that sort of consistency that does leave a lasting legacy in the minds of our customers, that they can rely on us even when the whole world is going a little bit crazy.
Yes. And what about the separation with Europe?
We have our largest export markets are already outside the EU. So the US, for example, Middle East, South Africa. So we are very used to dealing with exporting products to countries which we don't have a free trade agreement with. So from that side of things, it was not particularly problematic for us. Largely, I would say there have been next to no adverse effects due to Brexit.
Adam, if somebody comes and says, okay, what are your top products? What would you say, first of all?
So we have our best-selling system right now is Net2, and we've been selling Net2 for a long time. It's evolved over the years in terms of its capability, and it is such a well-liked and well-trusted system.
With access control, isn't it?
Access control, Net2 access control system, and it is used by thousands of installers every month. And it's a very, very stable product, very wide level of functionality, some clear things that differentiate it from its competitors in terms of simplicity, which is one of our absolute core values. Our most recent product range is called Paxton 10, and it's using cloud-based technology, and that has got some very interesting innovations in, and I think the two products sit nicely and complement one another. The more traditional reliable access control system of Net2, and then the new technology giving some exciting new functionality and more breadth of security services like video surveillance, for example, embedded within there, smart credentials, so using Bluetooth phones for gaining access.
Yes, sure.
So we're
and
very
you also
happy
have the trainings for your installers and distributors as well.
Yes, that's a big part of our sales strategy. I think the best way to sell to security installers or to IT installers is just show how it works. There's nothing like it, and know fancy documentation or slick presentation can really be the real thing.
Yes, I'm going to ask you two personal questions. One, what do you do on your spare time?
Oh, look after my kids.
How many have you got?
Sometimes it feels like about 8, but actually only 2.
Oh, no.
I love, we're always doing things in the countryside and stuff like that, and so bike rides and all of those sorts of things. So I love doing that. Any other spare time? I love running. I try and get running every lunchtime. I find that a very good way, and we promote a lot of sort of healthy lifestyle things throughout Paxton. I think it's a great way to look after yourself physically, but also mental well-being and disconnect. And it's just very good for dealing with stressful environment, and we've all got different stresses. So a big fan of that.
So what would you have done if you didn't find Paxton, if you didn't do your engineering work, engineering studies?
I don't know. I sometimes think about that. I sometimes think what would have happened if I hadn't had that kind of mental click moment when I was at Paxton, and something creative and something involving technology, because right back to when I was a child, this is when personal computers were coming in, and I used to love writing programs and writing my own sort of games and things like that on the computer. And then in one of my roles in Paxton, I was writing software for Paxton for our internal systems. So it's something to do with technology and something creative.
Fantastic. Adam, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to meeting you in person and the rest of the team now that we are opening up doors and being able to get together, and I will see you again very soon.
Thanks very much, Jenny. Thank you.